Welcome back to Sports Talk with Naj. Today we're going to be talking about Los Angeles Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns Game 3. In a pivotal Game 3, both teams put it all on the line, but it was the Lakers that won the game 109-95. In this one, the Los Angeles Lakers dominated the glass, having a plus 16 advantage against the Phoenix Suns, and they were also dominant in paint, scoring more than half of their 109 points in that area. In the third quarter is what really mattered in this game, as the Los Angeles Lakers were able to build a double-digit lead thanks to LeBron and AD show. LeBron was held to single digits going into halftime, but really buffered it up going into the third quarter. He was getting to the paint at will and at ease, and he finished with 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. For AD, he looked like his old self again after having another great game, notching a double-double with 34 points and 11 boards and getting to the free throw line. The Phoenix defense and their interior defense had little to no answers for the big man. For the Phoenix Suns, it was a tough loss as Chris Paul still again played limited minutes, only playing 27 minutes, scoring 7 points and 6 assists. But some of the bright spots was their young big man, DeAndre Ayton, who had 22 points and 11 rebounds, notching another double-double, as he's been shooting well from the field all series long, and the Lakers have had little to no answers for the big man. Also, Dbook finished with 19 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds, but it wasn't as efficient as he was in Game 1, where he scored 31. For this game, it looks like the Lakers have that advantage in the paint going forward. It looks like Phoenix has little to no answers for that, unless they make some adjustments. But the Lakers take this one home and get a pivotal Game 3, as 73% of teams that win Game 3 go on to win the series. So, for the Phoenix Suns, the key is getting Chris Paul as healthy as possible. Honestly, he's their leader. He's not their best player, but he's their most important player. He knows how to orchestrate offense. He's a great leader, and he knows how to get his team going. They also have to get Dbook going again. It was a rough Game 3 for him, and a little bit of frustration there at the end with the foul and becoming ejected. But we know who Dbook is, even at a young age. This is his 6th season, but we know he's hungry. He's a hungry young star. But you got to get him going. Got to get him some easy shots, some layups, some slashing to the rim in order to help set up the perimeter shot. But we know what this young kid can do, and he's been doing it all playoffs long, except for Game 3. Game 1 and 2, he had it going. Game 1, he had 31. So we know what he can do, but Phoenix got to get him going. Also, another key for Phoenix is they're going to have to get their big man going. Whenever in the rotation, when DeAndre Ayton is not in the game, their bigs are getting dominated. So Phoenix has to find a way to supplement that when DeAndre Ayton goes out. Usually when Ayton is in, he can kind of hold his own, and he's dominating on the other end at least as well, because he's had double-doubles, and he's had an efficient shooting on the other end of the floor when they're on offense, and the Lakers have had little to no answers for him. So the key for Phoenix, those are 3 keys: getting Dbook going again, hopefully solidifying and bolstering that defensive front line when DeAndre isn't in the game, and also getting CP3 as healthy as possible to try to take Game 4. Now, the keys for the Lakers in this series going forward, you got to keep dominating the paint. Obviously, as I mentioned before, they have no answers for you in the paint. You have great bigs in Andre Drummond and Anthony Davis, who can get in the paint at will and at ease. So for the Lakers, you cannot settle. If they start trying to force you to take shots, you got to go to what your strength is, which is the paint and the paint presence. Also, I'm not worried about LeBron. I know that, he's taking it, game by game. Superstar, all-time great, But it was good to see him put his foot on the gas pedal there in the third quarter and still be able to dominate. We don't know his health, with his ankle injury, but looks like he's picking and choosing his spots. But for the Lakers, AD got to be the best player, and LeBron has to be the most important player. AD has to at least score north of 28 points per game going forward if they're going to compete and contend for a title. If not, it's going to be really rough for LA in winning a title. But AD is more than capable. AD is a superstar as well. He's one of the top 5 players when healthy. So you got to have him as your best player. Also, you're going to need a third scorer for the Lakers going forward. It doesn't have to be consistently, but somebody has to score at least 20 points a game on the team. Whether that's Dennis Schroeder, whether that's Andre Drummond, whether that's Montrezl Harrell when he's back in, whether that's Marc Gasol, whether that's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, whoever. Lakers going to need a consistent third scorer. Last year they got it. It was from, the rotation as a whole. Some games was Caruso, some games was Caldwell-Pope. but you're going to need that consistently going forward because when the defense closes in on AD and LeBron, you're going to need somebody to hit those perimeter shots. And the Lakers have really struggled in this series hitting those perimeter shots. So they're going to need somebody to get in and score. Whoever it is, doesn't matter. But they're going to need that consistent third scorer going forward. But for LA fans, you got to be excited going up 2-1, winning your first game since 2012 when Kobe Bryant was in a uniform. RIP to Kobe. So it's exciting to see another playoff game in the Staples Center. The crowd probably wasn't as electric as it usually is because thanks to only 7,500 fans, but you can still feel the crowd in the atmosphere, and you can still feel it in an arena. So for the Lakers, they have a lot to be happy about. They got to get the rest and the treatment. Same thing with the Suns. And those are the keys going forward for the rest of the series. We'll see how it plays out when Game 4 resumes Sunday at 3:30. Thank you for tuning in.